Okay, right now we're going to talk a little bit about the differences from the patient's point of view going onto a stretcher versus a Barton chair. I used stretchers for many years, very familiar with it. It was the go-to device at that era before a Barton chair was available. So once again, Patrick's going to be my helper. David's the patient. We lift up. Extra steps are required to come in. There's no support on the back. So Patrick's going to step this way. I'm going to get his legs. And this is standard operating procedure for how you load a patient on a stretcher. We need to lift up. Can you tell me which was more comfortable thus far in the operation?
The Barton chair is far more comfortable and a lot easier to get in.
Right here you can see there's only one bend. I mean, it'll angle, but it's not an infinite number of reclining positions.
And I do feel very slouched, whereas in the Barton chair I felt like I was in an office chair.
I think that from the patient's point of view, it's not natural, and you're going to see what I'm talking about right now when Patrick and I raise David. I'll come on this end, same thing as before, but with the patient, lift up. Alrighty. One of the things that is a main difference between a Barton chair and a stretcher is your center of gravity on a stretcher is much higher. It's very unstable. Any bump, any awkward surface, you have to have two people. Otherwise, this guy is tipping over, and it still might tip over.
They're arguing over the door. I'm like, leave the door open. Someone will take care of it. It's okay. You know, so, okay, watch this part. It's crazy. I mean, I'm just shocked that these guys have jobs still. You know, like, look at that. Look at that. He didn't even, you know, put brake. There's got to be brakes on the thing. Right? Look, oh no, oh my God, the car, I forgot about that. Okay, and look at that, and now this is an old person on that. This is what's crazy.
From the patient's point of view, it is far more a frightening experience than going on a Barton chair. For a big man like David, we need two people. So we're both gonna push. Okay?
It's much more abrasive, very clunky. I did think about the higher center of gravity and then became worried I was gonna fall over and bust my teeth. It really feels like an old wooden roller coaster, if you're familiar with those. Overall, it's just less comfortable, even aside from the jarring nature of the transport. Having ridden in the Barton chair, I would much prefer it over this method.
Okay, we're gonna now simulate arriving at the drop-off point and taking David out with the stretcher. One thing I'd like to point out is these guys have to lock like that. Otherwise, the whole thing falls down. Very unsafe if that does not lock. We're gonna squeeze, we're gonna lower it. Squeeze lower. And we can simulate David coming off. Here, we can get you out. And you can talk about what the experience was like coming out.
I think my left kidney hurts. I don't know why that is. But yeah, it's even more abrasive going down because I mean you can't see. You can't see where you're going. I have to trust this guy to make sure it's gonna lock so I don't flop on the ground.